How's it going, guys? Jim here, Scottish guy in Moscow. I'm outside Superlenta. Superlenta is what I would probably call mid-price supermarket here in Moscow. Now, we're at where I live in Akademicheskaya, away from the centre, so this is going to be like a suburban, out of centre supermarket tour with prices, etc. And again, we're talking mid-range, okay? It's not the most expensive, not the cheapest. So if you want to come inside and see what it's like in a normal mid-price supermarket in Moscow, come with me. Now guys, just before we go inside Superlenta, could you please hit subscribe? It would be a big favour for me. I checked this morning, I'm about 500 subscribers short of 60,000. Way more than I thought I would get when I started the channel. If you could hit subscribe, I'd be very grateful. Let's get on with the tour. Alright guys, we are outside Superlenta and let's do a little Russian lesson. So the one that looks a bit like a C for us is a S. The one that looks like a Y for us is a U, like double O. This one up here is a P, yeah, and the one that looks like a P for us is like an R, super. And then we got this one that doesn't look like anything in English, that's a L, yeah. The H is like an N for us, a N, T, and the one that looks like an A is like an A, so that's pretty much the same. That's where you have Superlenta. I don't know what it means. Well, super is the same word, it means great, but Lenta, I've got no idea what it means. Let's have a look at some of these signs here. These are some of the things that you can buy in Superlenta. Sia Vashemu Domu. Does that mean cheese for your home? Sear is definitely cheese. Domu is definitely home. Vash is like you or your. So Russians, help me out. Does this mean cheese for your home? I'm not sure. As always, we've got a selection of scooters and bikes, and these are the ones that delivery drivers use. Look at those big gloves for the winter. And these are all over the city, and especially outside of supermarkets. Coffee suburb means coffee to take away. Okay, we're going to go inside Superlenta and we're going to see what it's like. So you come in Superlenta. Here we've got the coffee machine, you can pay with card, etc. And over here is a dry cleaners where you can get your clothes cleaned. We've got these usual baskets and stuff. Cash machine in Superlenta. And then we've got some fruit here. Now I think at the moment 1,000 rubles, I'd say 100 rubles is about $1. The last time, I've not checked for a while actually, but that's pretty much what we're dealing with here. And we've got our vegetables as well. For example, these here are just over $1, so how does that compare to your country? We'll have a look through the different vegetables. Everything pretty standard in terms of what you might see in your country. Remember, this is sort of mid-level, nothing fancy, but definitely not the cheapest either. This lady's mopping the floor, so maybe we'll come back to there. Here, what I definitely don't think we get in Scotland is like choosing your own pistachios and dates and things like that. So what do you want to see? Do you want to see things that you can maybe only get in Russia? I'm going to try and find some. Here is all the bottled water, etc. And here is some of the magazines that you can get here. Krupnaya Kolekta. What does that mean? Somebody help me out. Alright, let's have a little walk through Superlenta and see what we can see. Here we've got more vegetables in the fridge, and we've got our beers here. All the usuals, sort of European beers. Is it like Czech beers and things like that? Nothing, I don't see any Russian beers, I don't see any Baltica. Is there no Baltica here? I don't think so. I don't see any Russian beers. Okay, now what you'll notice is there's no Coca-Cola. Oh, there is Coca-Cola. Wow. Now usually you can't find actual Coca-Cola in the supermarkets, but you will find like Dobry Cola, etc. Everest Cola. I think there's like Everest Cola. It looks more like Pepsi with a blue. Oh, there it's there. We've got Everest Cola. So how much was a bottle of Coca-Cola? I can't see the price. Is that the price for Coca-Cola? Not sure. Not sure on that. Maybe you did see it, but I couldn't see it. So, got all the frozen goods here. Now, if you've never been to Russia, you've probably never seen pelmeni. This is like little dumplings that Russians like to eat. It's frozen, and they will eat. It's very, very common for people to eat. And we got some fish here as well. Here you're buying the full fish. Looks like just the eyes have been taken out, but you buy everything else. Are these sardines? These tiny little ones. Okay, onwards. Up here we got jam, marmalade, Lenta own brand. And these things, is there any plov here? I want to show you plov. Here we go, plov. I think plov is from Uzbekistan, is that correct? If I got that wrong, I'm sorry. It's like little bits of chicken or beef in rice, but it's very, very delicious. It's really good if you come to Russia or one of these other countries. I think this is the one I like, the Miratorg one. It's good if you've got nothing for your dinner. 2 of these go down a treat. Plov sukaritsi, plov with chicken. Okay, let's move on. Here we got our coffee. Here's some instant coffee. Nescafe. Nescafe Gold. Oh look, they've spelt it in Russian. It's a G O O D Gold. Nescafe Gold. That is 500, so that's probably about $5. I don't buy instant coffee, so does that compare? How does it compare with what you get in your country? But I suppose I spend a few dollars on a coffee every day, so maybe I should be buying it from there. We've got our teas here, boxes of tea bags. Of course, no Tetley or PG tips if you're British. They do have, there's lots of, I think the tea seems to be different type of, there's a lot wider range. You know, when you're British, it's generally, people just want a tea bag, don't they? But here they've got like classic black tea, Earl Grey tea, Lord Grey, Pleasure, black tea. So there's a lot more, lots of green teas as well. There's a lot more choice, and these again are probably just about $1 for the box of tea bags. Okay, over here to what Russians call confetti, Americans call candy. British people, I think we call it sweets or chocolate. Do have a Bounty though. Check out the Bounty. But everything else I've not really heard of. Alright, what else we got? This guy's buying a cake. Let's have a walk through. Let's have a look at the chicken and the beef and the steaks. We got a sirloin here. What's that for the price for the sirloin? Premium steak. So about $6–7 for that. I think that's quite expensive, no? Or pretty much the same. I don't think steaks and stuff seem to be much cheaper. I think they were cheaper when I got here a couple of years ago. Can anybody vouch for that? And then turkey and chicken. Chicken's not as chicken isn't as popular, I don't think. Turkey's probably just as popular, whereas British people tend to only eat turkey at Christmas time. And we got the fridge with all the fish in there. There's salmon, etc. There's prawns, all that good stuff. Now we're going to go right round and then we're going to weave back and forward through the aisles, so don't worry, we won't miss anything. What we got here, sausages. I always get into trouble in the comments saying that I don't like the sausages in Russia, but I always feel they're like the hot dog sausages, you know? They're all like, I'm trying to see if I can see any ones that I like. Yeah, they always seem to look like that, I think, which for me, it's just a bit processed. I mean, all sausages are processed, but it's not for me, to be honest. Right, here we go, the milk. Milk in Russia is usually completely different. Usually lasts a lot longer, so I don't really know what's in it than it does in the UK. I don't really drink milk anymore. I did when we were growing up. We got told that you were meant to drink milk, as much milk as possible, but I think that was good marketing from the milk companies. There's a bottle coming in at about $1, and I always feel, oh no, that's kefir. Kefir is different. Okay, maybe that's why the milk, maybe I've been buying that and thinking that the milk is lasting too long. Here we go, here's Malacom here. So this will be the milk here. Malacom means milk, and that's about $1 for that there. So yeah, I think that's what's been happening. I was buying that stuff, which thinking it was milk, and it was lasting a lot longer, and it wasn't even milk. Here we go, we've got all the usual Actimel type stuff. These are really good. These are like protein. So you can drink one of these and it's like your protein for the meal. I'm no expert on the amount of protein you're meant to be eating per day, but I get them, and you got a few of them in the house. You can drink a couple of them per day, I think. And yogurts, orange juice. So really, most of the stuff, to be honest, is stuff that you get anywhere else. I don't think in this one, in Superlenta, nothing's crazy different from the UK, I don't think. Here we've got lots of different cheeses. We've got our blue cheese. We've got the feta cheese. This is the one I get. Where's the one I get? This one here. It's really good. So let me know in the comments, is it much different than the UK? It's been a few years since I've done a big shopping in the UK. What about America, or maybe other parts of Russia? If you're watching from other parts of Russia, is there more choice here? Here is all the meats, the sort of cured meats, the ones that are really bad for you, as far as I know. These are quite good, these are tasty. I think they're really bad for you though, but these little meat sticks, they're less than $1. I get them sometimes. They're pretty good. And let's have a look what we've got here. Nuts, almond milk. I think one of them, that'll be almond milk, yeah? Is that right? And let's come around and see what else we've got. This sauce is absolutely delicious. Arrabbiata. The prices vary wildly. Here it's 249 rubles, but if you go to Azbukova Coast now, which is like the Waitrose of Russia, it's twice the price for exactly the same jar. It's a terrible price. Alright, let's look at the cereals. These are going to be different. Cereals seem to be very unique to countries, don't they? So, my brain's not working. I'm not even going to try and read that. Oh. Hrudka. Hrudka? Am I saying it correctly? Hrudka. Mini Mills. Unicorn. It's in English, I can read that one. So all the different kids cereals seem to be very specific to Russia. And here's all the sauces. We've got tomato ketchup, which made it through sanctions. These here are very popular in Asia, but they like to have them in Russia as well. A bit like a pot noodle, and they last. Sorry, they cook really quickly. Okay, into the pasta aisle. And Pasta's pasta really, isn't it? It can't be too different. And rice as well. Now, in terms of juice, this juice is absolutely delicious. It's cranberry juice, I'm sure. Well, I get it anyway, I like the taste of it. I'm pretty sure it's cranberries that's on the picture. We've got cooked chicken here and bread. I've noticed in Russia, not like in the UK, we don't really seem to have the sliced loaves of bread. If they do, they have it like this. And they're much smaller. I think we eat a lot more bread in the UK. It's like that size of loaf, but it's about that length, so much bigger. So, let me know. Russians do eat a lot of bread. Maybe this type of bread, but not those sliced loaves, I don't think. Baguettes. Here's some more. Yeah, it's like this. This is sort of the thing that we eat back home now. I'm sure I've had this, but the American one, and it lasted for weeks because I left it in the house and when it went on holiday. It was absolutely disgusting. So I don't think I'll be eating it again. I don't know what they put in it to make it last that long. Right, onwards. Let's see what else we've got. Is there anything else we haven't seen? We're into the toiletries. Colgate. Does that mean they never got sanctioned? They're still here. Head and Shoulders. It's a big hitter in the UK, isn't it? Everyone knows that one. And let's look at the juices. Oh, here we go. Here's the beers. There must be some Baltica here. Here we go. So Baltica 3. Baltica 7, these are Russian beers. I think I asked in the last supermarket video I did what are the numbers, but I don't think it wasn't to do with the strength. I don't think, was it? I remember people told me in the comments, but I've completely forgot. Maybe it's just the flavour. So we've got Baltica, and look, we got like dried turkey and things like that as well. But all your normal beers are here. So if you do come to Russia and you do want to get something that you recognise, Stella, Budweiser. Check out these big bottles of beer though. Now that is about $1.50, I would say, for that. It's quite big, isn't it? No idea if it tastes good, never tried it. Crisps here, mostly Lay's instead of Walkers. And what else have we got? Cheetos, you know Cheetos. And these ones, these aren't, although in Russian I think they sell them in the UK just with like different writing on them. And you've got juices here. But yeah, how do the prices compare to the UK? I think we're up this side. So look, frozen broccoli. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? Frozen broccoli. I don't think you would. I suppose you're going to boil it to cook it. And we got shrimps, prawns, sliced fish, all frozen that you can just take by the scoop. And then these are some of the frozen items that you can get in Russia. Ice creams as well. You've got the Snickers ice cream and everything. All the ice creams are under $1. Now, one thing that I didn't realise in Russia is the actual extent of mosquitoes in the summer. You wouldn't really think, I mean maybe, do you? Do people think Russia is the type of place that's got mosquitoes? I was getting absolutely eaten alive by mosquitoes this summer as when I came back, because I was leaving my balcony window open and they were getting in. Cat food if you've got a cat. I've never had a cat, so I've got no idea if that's a good price or not, but what's that, about 20 cents? Is that for one meal? Is that good? Let me know. Never had a cat. And all of these ones as well. Domestos, Sell It Bang, Zef. Did that used to be called Jeff? Did it change its name? I can't really remember. Ariel. There we go. That's like, that's, I suppose that looks quite expensive, no? For that? About $9. Is that how much that costs? I don't know. Obviously I don't use that one, but I think I use a cheaper version, but that seems quite expensive. Flowers and plants, of course, very important to the Russian people. And some cards. So Den Rождения means happy birthday. За день рождения. So there's lots of different cards for different occasions. Let's have a look at some of the magazines you can get. I think that one's about cooking. I'm gonna guess that one's about cars. I'm just looking at the pictures. I'm not even reading it. Alright, I guess we look at the alcohol section. Let's go. Right, bottles of wine. Very important. I was drinking that one for a while, that was alright. Pinot Noir, tastes okay. And is there any of the other ones that I reckon? I think that one at the bottom. No, that's a white wine. I don't drink white wine. Vodka, of course, very, very important to the Russian people, and Russian culture is vodka, and it ranges greatly in price. That one looks, let's see if we can find the cheapest. What one's the cheapest vodka? Okay, so that's about $4 for that bottle. Probably that one there, maybe this one. Well, I don't know anything about vodka, it'll taste the same to me. I don't think I've ever had a vodka and thought it tasted any different from any other bottle of vodka. Alright guys, that is Super Lenta, and that is a mid-ranged supermarket. Alright guys, thanks very much for watching my tour of Super Lenta. I've gave you Perica Rostock. We've done Super Lenta now. I think I've done Petorichka, which is the cheaper one. There is one right next door to me called Dixie, which is also a super cheap one, which I'm going to do next. But thanks very much for watching. As always, please do subscribe. I'll see you next time.